This is Dexter.
Who is he?
You remember in school, they told us the state constitution created the state government, which is divided into 3 branches, and the legislative branch passes laws that are enforced by the executive branch?
No, I never had a class like that.
That's odd. Oregon law requires classes in constitutional studies starting in 8th grade and continuing through college. Anyway, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Okay.
But in reality, there are 2 sets of books, the Acts of the Legislature, and the Oregon Revised Statutes. In between the legislative branch and the executive branch, sits a lawyer. That's Dexter. He takes all the laws passed by the legislature and revises them. He writes the Oregon Revised Statutes, and that's what the cops enforce.
Wow. You're telling me all the police in Oregon, the Oregon State Police, sheriffs, Portland Police, city cops, they all enforce what this lawyer says, instead of enforcing the laws passed by the legislature?
Yes. Actually, it's worse. Dexter drafts the bills that the legislature considers. So Dexter is the real author of most of the acts of the legislature.
Isn't that a lot of writing for one man to do?
He has a staff to help him. His title is Legislative Counsel and his staff is called the Office of Legislative Counsel.
Isn't there a saying about how power corrupts? What if these revised statutes are misleading?
That's exactly what's happening.
For instance?
The cops think the law prohibits us from exercising our right to use our non-business automobiles on the public highways. The cops think everybody has to have a driver license, even if they're not using the roads for business purposes.
Wait, doesn't everybody have to have a driver license?
We've all been told that everybody have to have a driver license for several decades, and it's all based on Dexter's Misleading ORS.
I was told in high school driver's ed class that driving is a privilege.
Actually, that language is technically correct, because a driver is someone who's employed in conducting a motor car. But if you're not employed as a driver, and you're not hauling freight for hire, and you're not carrying fare-paying passengers, and you're not using your vehicle for compensation or profit, then the acts of the legislature do not require you to have a driver license or registration.
You're telling me there's no such thing as a license to use a non-business car?
That's right. Here's a letter from David Early at the Oregon Department of Transportation, saying that the DMV has no licensing program for private, non-compensated use of an automobile on the public highways. And here's a letter from Dexter himself, saying the session law that expanded the subject class of the vehicle code beyond operators for hire probably doesn't exist anywhere.
So the cops have been enforcing the law wrong all these years? I've never used my car for business. But I've gotten traffic tickets. Were those tickets illegal?
Did the cop have any reason to believe you were using your car for business?
No.
Then the tickets were illegal.
But the traffic judge agreed with the cop.
The ticket said you were operating a motor vehicle. Operating means for profit. Did you tell the judge you weren't using your car for profit?
No.
Then the judge didn't have to look beyond Dexter's Misleading ORS. Actually, they're not judges. They're administrative hearings officers.
So why did I title and register my car? I thought the cops would pull me over for no plate.
Usually they do, because they are relying on Dexter's Misleading ORS, which appears to require a license for everything. However, some of the cops are getting educated. There was this one car that sat parked on North Vancouver Street near Tillamook with no state plates, and was also used for minor errands. It's a busy 4-lane street. Cops drive by several times a day. It's a one-way street, so the cops had to look at the plate. That car sat parked there in full view of the cops for 2 years. Here's what City of Portland lawyer Harry Auerbach filed in court. He quotes Dexter's misleading ORS, which defines operation as any operation. According to Harry, that means everybody has to have a driver license.
Wow, somebody should fix this. Has Dexter been told that the cops and lawyers misunderstand the law because they are relying on Dexter's misleading ORS?
Yes. In 2012, a member of our group surveyed all 36 Oregon sheriffs. 18 of them answered, and said they enforce the vehicle code against non-business automobile users. Dexter was served by email with this package.
Service by email, is that official?
No. That's why 2 other members of our group went to Salem, to serve him in person with a paper copy. One of them was arrested for trespassing, while he was standing on the sidewalk.
Is Dexter breaking the law?
Yes. He's committing official misconduct in the first degree, failure to perform a duty clearly inherent in the nature of the office.
What duty does Dexter have?
Dexter has a duty not to alter the sense, meaning, effect or substance of any act of the legislature, when translating it into the ORS. By implication, Dexter also has a duty to correct existing alterations.
Can Dexter be arrested?
Yes, here's the private person arrest statute. We can arrest for any crime committed in our presence. And here's a statute that says we must take the arrested person before a magistrate. And here's a statute that says an Oregon Supreme Court judge is a magistrate.
How are you going to do it?
First, we are going to officially serve him with this package. It proves the vehicle code is a business regulation. It shows the sheriffs think the ORS requires a license for non-business automobiles. It demands he revise the ORS to make clear that the vehicle code is a business regulation. Then we're going to ask if he intends to revise the ORS to make it clear that the vehicle code is a business regulation. Then we're going to tell him he's under arrest, and ask if he's going to submit to our authority, or whether we must put a hand on his shoulder to complete the arrest. Then we're going to take him across the street, before the Oregon Supreme Court.
What is the magistrate going to do?
We expect the magistrate to arraign him based on our sworn statements. But you don't have control of that. All we can do is hold up our end as citizens.
Are you going to record this on video?
Yes, we will record all these events, then we will edit and publish a video.
Will all this cost money?
Yes, we need a camera with instant upload, and travel expenses. Also, we expect that we will be arrested on bogus charges like last time, and we expect to need a fund to cover that.
How much will you need?
We estimate total expenses at $5,000.
Wow, that's a bargain. Will this be the first time that Oregon citizens have arrested a corrupt public servant?
As far as we know.
Will it be the last?
We hope not.